Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is not an adventure video, hiking or paddling. It is a campground review of Haas's Campground in Long Lake, New York. I'm doing it here from my house because the day that I left Haas's, it was high winds, rain, cold, so I figured I'll do it here when I get back. But this is a review of Haas's Campground, Long Lake, New York. Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time watching, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below to continue to follow my adventures. But today is a campground review of Haas's Campground in Long Lake, New York. And if you've ever been through Long Lake, you probably drove right by the campground. If you've seen this building here, right across the road from it is the campground. It's a very small campground. It only has like 15 sites. But I'll tell you about this place. I've been wanting to stay here for a long time, and we're there for Columbus Day weekend in October. The leaves were in full bloom. Jax stole the show with his costume here for Oktoberfest, and everybody loved him. He was a hit. Everybody loved him. But this is a review. Haas's Campground, Long Lake, New York. So let's get to it. If you go into Long Lake, Haas's Campground is right on the main corner in Long Lake. You'll have a Stewart's and then Haas's General Store. Right across from it, you'll see a food stand called The Park. And then behind there is where the campground is. It's only about 15 sites. The road in is just a big circle in, and the sites are off that circle. They offer water, electric, and sewer at every site. It is probably the only full-service campground in that area. I know the DEC campground Lake Eaton is there, but they don't have any hookups. So this campground is high in demand. They're full most of the time. So here we go. I score my campground reviews in 5 categories: inner roads and sites, facilities, amenities, what they have to offer, staffing, and then price point. Price you're paying, is it worth to stay there? So let's get at it. Inner roads and sites. Now this is a very small campground, 15 sites. Every site has water, electric, and sewer. It's just one big circle when you come in. And even though it says 18 sites inside there, I think the count starts at around 4. And there is look like a permanent trailer set up on the first 3 sites. So anyways, the road is wide enough to get big rigs in. We had 5th wheels in there. There was motorhomes in there. I had my rigs in there. So it was easy to move around, easy to back into the site. The site was level enough. I don't even think I had to level the camper in there. I tested the electric. The electric was fine. The water pressure is good for your rig. They offer a fire ring and a picnic table at every site. And each site backs up to what is called Park Lake, where you can look out over Park Lake, and on the other side of Park Lake is Long Lake. So it was a nice time there. The sites are fairly close. You can put your awning out and you'll have just a few feet until the next rig. It's not particularly what I like in a campground. I like some space in there, but for water, electric, and sewer, it's basically the only place available. So for inner roads and sites, I give Haas's a 7 out of 10. Facilities. Now, facilities here, they do not have showers, but they do have bathrooms. They have men's and women's bathrooms. They're small. They just have a toilet, a sink, and a hand dryer That's basically it. There is a mirror on the wall. That's basically it. They are in good shape. They seem to work very well. They seem to be stocked very well. They were cleaned. So, you know, this is where a lot of campgrounds falter. They don't have showers, but they do have water hookups at your rig, so you can take a shower in your rig if need be. So everything worked well. It was clean. So I gave facilities Hosses a 6. Moving on to amenities. Of course, this is not a huge park, but they do have playground and miniature golf. The park food stand, if you ever go, you gotta get a cheeseburger. Oh my God, freaking awesome. But anyways, the park food stand's right there by the entrance. There are several hiking trails, mountain climbing in the area, paddling opportunities in the area, and also that campground is right in the center of Long Lake, so it's in walking distance to restaurants and stores very easily. So for amenities, I gave Hosses a 7.0. On to staffing. I met the owner when I got there. She was very, very nice. We chatted all weekend long because they had so many festivities going on in Long Lake when I was there. Like I said, Jack stole the show, and so she was very attentive to people in the campground. She was there every day, went through the campground. Anything you need, how's everything going? And we had a good talk. I asked her how long she keeps the campground open. She said basically it's open almost all year long. They do shut the water off, so there's only electric available in the wintertime. You can still hook up the sewer, she says, but because that's not going to freeze. But they don't have water in the wintertime, and she's basically full all the time. So you have to call to make a reservation. That's what we had to do. We had to call about a month and a half in advance to get a reservation there. But for staffing, they were really attentive, very nice. I gave them an 8.0. On to price point. $45 a night, which included tax for water, electric, and sewer. Can't get any better than that. I mean, I know campgrounds that are charging $65, $70 a night for water and electric, but this has full hookups. You can't get any better than that. So for price point, I'm putting Hosses Campground at an 8.0. Incidentals of this campground. I have Verizon service. I had Verizon service the entire time I was there. I was able to, luckily, my neighbors, we had are all Bills fans, and the Bills game was on Sunday against the Steelers, and their satellite system was locked out. They could not get the game, so I had the cord that I could plug my phone in and plug it into a back of the TV, and we were able to stream the game over my phone, so it has a decent signal there. We had a pretty good tailgate party and Bills party there at Hosses Campground. It was a great time. Gas and groceries is very close. There's several stores. There's a Stewart's for gas. They also have many food items in Stewart's. Hosses has many items, including the Adirondacks knickknacks that you want to buy, but they also have food in there. There's another restaurant down the road. Long Lake Diner is right down the road. So there's a lot of things right there around the campground, which made it nice. So Hosses Campground scored 36 out of 50 for a final grade of 7.2. And I think that's a pretty fair grade for a campground that doesn't have showers. That is one drawback. It would be nice to have showers, but most of the people that stay there are in rigs that they can shower inside their rig. But Hosses Campground, I'll definitely go back. I loved it there. I love Long Lake anyways. Inlet and Long Lake are one of my two favorite places in the Adirondacks, and I have several of them. So anyways, 7.2 for Hosses Campground. If you're going to go, make sure you call for a reservation because they are full most of the time. Alright folks, you watched all the way through. Thanks for that. If you liked the video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button down below. Continue to follow the adventure. And remember, folks, tomorrow is no guarantee for any one of us. So disconnect from that Wi-Fi, connect to this out here. You won't be disappointed.